What do I think I'd be doing if I didn't join the military? If I didn't join the army, Javon, what would you be doing? What would you be doing if you never joined the army and you just stayed where you was at, you was doing what you was doing? That's a question I usually think about all the time. I think about that all the time. I get asked that all the time by myself because I really just don't be knowing what would my life look like? What would my life be? Like, so many times I've came to the realization, like, you've come so far in life and as a whole, the army has pushed you in this position, but what could it have looked like if I never joined the army? So let's dive into it. If I never joined the army, first of all, when I was in Chicago, when I was in Illinois, my brother was in the Marine Corps, and I moved to North Carolina. So let's just take North Carolina out the equation, because I only really, actually, let's leave it in there. So I moved to North Carolina, but I moved to North Carolina after high school because I had to get out of the situation I was in. Because after I graduated high school, there was like, okay, we have to come up with a plan for you, for me, because life is about to hit. A lot of people that's in high school that graduate, they don't understand how real life gets, how real you're gonna have to really grind, how real it is to get a job, how real it is to get into a college and actually make something of your life. Because if you don't, you're gonna be sitting at your mama's house, sitting at your grandma's house in the basement, making ends meet, and that's not what you need to be doing. So people in high school don't even understand how real it really gets. And I really didn't fully understand, and I still don't even fully understand how it is to, to actually be in the real world. I have a degree because I've been in the army for a couple years, but people in high school coming out don't really know. They just don't know how real they really get. So I moved to North Carolina for a change of scenery, and I was working, I was hustling. My brother, he wanted me to go out there and just get some practical life knowledge. So I did that. So I go to North Carolina, I go out there, I work. I get away from my usual daily habits, extract myself from a position, and I move to a different position. I found a job. I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings. I just did a little stuff. I cut grass. I did a little labor, did a little work. And it opened my mind. It expanded my thoughts because he was in the Marine Corps and I met some of his people. And ultimately, the people that he was hanging around were great people. They were great people. They did a lot of great things in the military, in the Marine Corps. They were officers. And it was just like, I talked to a lady and she said her only regret when it comes to joining the military was not joining sooner. So that sparked me to join. But before that, I was just working at Buffalo Wild Wings and just small stuff, just small little petty jobs that wasn't really changing nothing. It wasn't going to put me in a position to really become like a CEO, a COO, or a person that's in charge of a business. It was none of that. So that's the North Carolina portion. But let's just say I stayed in Chicago or stayed in Illinois and I just never left. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what I'd be doing. That's the scary part. A lot of people that I know that went to high school with me, some of them died, some of them passed away. Some of them community college and then they just went back to their people crib. Some of them got bachelor's degrees and working at, certain jobs, the bank somewhere. And I probably would have fell into the same system. I probably would have went into the same avenue. Or what if I never found a job? What if I just couldn't get a job? See, the thing about me, if I'm being real with myself, school was never for me. I was never the person who could just, I'm not gonna say I wasn't smart, but I was the type of person in school that just didn't care. School didn't entertain me. It didn't keep my interest. So I just never really had exceptional grades. And it doesn't mean that I'm not smart. It doesn't mean that I'm dumb. It's just, you only gonna give your attention to what entertains you, to what motivates you. And school never motivated me. So I never had the opportunity when I got out of high school to really go to any good colleges. It was no colleges out there that was gonna accept me. Or they probably could have, but it would have been a whole different process, a whole long process that I wasn't trying to go through. So I probably would have fell victim to working low-end jobs, low-wage jobs, struggling, living in my people's crib, living in my people's basement, trying to figure out how I'm gonna make this life thing work. Because at the end of the day, like, I have people in my life that's gonna look out for me and do things for me and help me if I need help. But at the end of the day, I have the same people, those same people in my life are going to tell me get off my butt and make something happen. So I would have had to make something happen. I would have had to make something shake. I don't know. I don't know how I was going. I don't know what I would have been doing. Like I said, I'd probably been working at some fast food restaurant, some fast food chain, which is okay. That's good. Ain't nothing wrong with hustling and getting it where you at. But when it comes to where my life would be at right now, I just genuinely don't know. If I never joined the military had put me in a position. It forced me to be in a position to be disciplined to some degree. It forced me to make money and save money. It forced me to meet people who are in positions that I never thought I would have ever. Like, I met people from all over the world. I have a friend from Togo. I have a friend from Haiti. I got friends from all over the world that I connect with, that I have serious ties with. If I would have never joined, I would have never met these people. I would have never met people who are like-minded as me, same age as me, but different parts of the world, who also see life the way I do. I would have been stuck in a small box. I would have been put in a box. And I would have just been stuck in that box and complacent with my box. I would have been complacent. That's the most important. I would have been complacent. Me, Issjivan, I would have been complacent. Working at a low-end job. Maybe working at a McDonald's somewhere, just not even understanding how big life really is. Very, very grateful because, yes, you can meet people at McDonald's, or you can meet people at Wendy's, you can meet people at wherever job. But the thing that's different about the Army is you meet people from all over the world, like-minded, but just different paths. But the paths are so different that if I meet somebody from Togo, they have real ambitions. If I meet somebody from Nigeria or somebody from Haiti or somebody from wherever, Trinidad, Tobago, whatever the case, South Africa, wherever, they have different ambitions. They want to go back home and build homes and build something for their families, for them, and go back and go back and take care of their family. And it makes you think, like, that's their ambitions. What's my ambitions? I don't know, but I better find some ambitions and write it down in my book. I better go write it down in my book. It definitely allowed me to expand my mind to see, like, it's other people in the world. The world is bigger than what I thought it was. I never would have left Illinois. I know for a fact I would have been miserable. I would have been like, man, life ain't nothing. This ain't this and this ain't that. And I would have been miserable. I would have not grown to the level to which I have grown. Also, I didn't have that much money. I was always, bro, I still don't have that much money, but I was coming from a position where, like, man, I never had money for real. Like, never had money. Money was something that was, like, so aloof to me. Like, it was something, yeah, you can make it by selling candy at school, but I never had an abundance of money. I never had money to spend. So I would have been just struggling, just trying to find a way to save every dollar I made. Would have been stuck in a childlike mindset. I still have a childlike mindset, but I've grown. Like, you know how you grown and stuff like that. I've grown. So I have a childlike mindset, but I also have a mindset of that has adapted to an adult. And I understand that I have different goals now in my life that I want to reach. And yes, I can have a childlike mindset, but I understand that in order to pursue these goals, I have to remain disciplined. I have to stay motivated. I have to stay on this path. But before I joined the military, I would have gave up. I would have gave up on a lot of different things because I could be passionate. Before I joined the military, I could be passionate about a whole bunch of things, but just gets too rough. I just be like, you know what, I'm done. Let me go into something different. Let me do something else that works. But the Army, the reason why I ain't do that is because I can't do that. You can't just walk away from it. You can't just say, no, I'm done with it. So it allowed me to stay the course. But also while staying the course, it also allowed me to also have other dreams and other goals and other things to strive for. So if I never would have joined the military, I know that would have been the case. Absolutely. So to tie this back into the military, like, if I never would have joined the military, I know that I would have been in that place, in that same place, blaming God for why my life is miserable. And if you ever need a reason to leave your current circumstance, if it's not going good for you, if it's not in a position that's bringing you abundance, if it's not in a place that's going to allow you to become the person who you are designed to be, who you know deep down below, you could do so much more with your life, but you just ain't achieved it yet. Sometimes you have to make that sacrifice. whether it be military or if it be whatever the case may be, make that sacrifice. But for me, the military was the only thing that could have got me from that situation. My brother, if it wasn't for my brother pulling me out of Illinois to North Carolina and me not seeing the people that he was hanging around and the people that was like-minded as him, I would have never had that drive to become the person that I'm trying to be right now. And I'm grateful, forever grateful. So I'm saying, like, don't overlook something that's going to give you a opportunity to become great. The military did that for me. You know what I'm saying? The military, even though everybody has their ups and downs, everybody has oh, I'm not joining this, I'm not joining that. You got to make a sacrifice. Life is about sacrifices. Like, after leaving high school, like, you got to hit the ground running. You got to find something that's going to work for you. Or if you don't know because you ain't been pre-planning your life, then you got to make sacrifices. You can't, life is not about comforts and convenience. It's about sometimes you have to go through the fire to become the diamond that you've always been. You have to go through that heat, because if you don't go through that heat, then how would you ever know what you are capable of overcoming? So I'm grateful. If you need a stay out of a situation, don't overlook joining the military. I'm not the type of person to push any type of thing on somebody, but if you know deep down below that you're more than what you are right now, and there's not many other avenues around you to become that person that you know deep down that you are, that you deliberately feel down below in your gut, then it's time to switch something up. Start a clothing line, maybe start a YouTube channel, or just join the military. Pull yourself from that actual environment into a different environment, and then watch yourself just grow. And with that being said, that's what I feel like my life would be if I never joined the military. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and share with anybody who think might enjoy this content. Until next time, Issjivan is out.